But before this Trump-Putin summit was even announced, President Trump ordered 2 nuclear submarines to head to regions near Russia. That move came after Russia withdrew from a nuclear forces treaty, and former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, who's widely believed to be a mouthpiece for Vladimir Putin, said that the world can, quote, expect further steps. That puts the company responsible for powering America's nuclear subs front and center. The company is BWX Technologies. It just secured a $2.6 billion contract to supply nuclear components for the U.S. Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program. So we said, let's get the CEO in. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive is BWX Technologies President and CEO Rex Geveden. Rex, I'm so interested to know your gut reaction when you heard the president last week say, I want 2 nuclear subs with your technology in them to head near Russia.
Well, my reaction, Liz, is we certainly are excited to be supporting the nuclear Navy for occasions such as this, when we need to do force projection or whatever the nuclear Navy needs to do with that technology. And we, BWXT, are the sole source providers for the nuclear fuel, the nuclear reactors, and associated equipment for literally every nuclear vehicle in the Navy fleet. So we supply reactors for the Virginia-class submarine, the Columbia-class, the Ford-class aircraft carriers, and we've delivered 420 of those reactors to the nuclear Navy.
Wow. Nobody wants war. Nobody wants to see any of this get worse. However, the reality is we are seeing hot wars around the world, and in some cases, like Russia, Ukraine, it's not getting any better. In fact, on certain days, it's getting worse. So as a business network, we're asking the question, how would, I suppose, a spike in geopolitical tensions or these wars directly affect your company?
You know, we tend not to be moved by tactical activities. Mm-hmm. BWXT has very long cycle businesses to deliver equipment for the nuclear submarines, for nuclear space, for NASA, and for things of that nature. And so the tactical variation that we see in the market doesn't impact BWXT very much.
We've seen companies with large exposure to longer-term contracts with the U.S. government get hit by the DOGE patrol. Initially, certainly in the first couple of months of the Trump administration, everybody was suspect. I mean, every contract was being looked at. Do you see any of that? Because, for example, Booz Allen, which has a huge number of contracts with the U.S. government, they saw a few of theirs go away. I mean, they saw the government's priorities shift. Have you seen any of that yet?
We haven't been affected by that, Liz. I would say, you know, we're doing, as I discussed, nuclear fuel, nuclear components. We're doing some nuclear site management for the Department of Energy, delivering nuclear equipment to NASA. And so, you know, we don't do support service kind of contracts. We don't do body shopping and some of those technical services that were affected by that. And we're not over here, as I have said to investors, writing white papers. We're delivering hardware, delivering capabilities that the government needs to satisfy its missions. And so we have not so far been affected by DOGE, and I certainly hope that we're not.
Well, your stock has been responding to a bunch of news, but last week when the acting NASA administrator, Sean Duffy, announced that they wanted to push a nuclear reactor, at least that type of program, to the moon by, I don't know, 2030, right away, your stock, because that would involve nuclear fuel, nuclear processing, which is exactly in your wheelhouse, saw your stock jump dramatically, up 21% since that day, which was on the 4th. I really look at your stock over the past 6 months, it's up 60% without that headline. So what could you do? I mean, what type of involvement, if you were called upon, if you landed the bid, what exactly could you do for that type of process on the moon? Can it be done?
Oh, it certainly can be done. I would say, you know, first I would say congratulations to Secretary Duffy and President Trump for putting forth a bold vision, because we do need to have nuclear power on the moon if we're to settle it. We also need it on Mars in the long run. And when you think about what it takes to move about in space, to manage assets in space, to live in space, then the fundamental requirements are power and propulsion. And there's no better solution to those requirements than nuclear power, because it's high density, it can be put into fairly small packages, and it's available on demand. And so we certainly do have the technology to put a nuclear reactor on the moon. We've been working with NASA to look at putting a 40-kilowatt reactor there. And it would take a heavy lander to put it on the surface of the moon, but we have that technology as well. I mean, we, the industrial base, have that technology as well. So, if we put our minds to it as a nation and it gets appropriately funded and prioritized, there's no reason we couldn't be ready to undertake a mission in a few years.
Well, I know that you were working with NASA back in 2017 to create the nuclear thermal rocket engine, but you just said you've been talking with NASA about this potential lunar project. Can I just clarify that?
That's correct. We've been under contract with NASA to develop nuclear thermal propulsion, which is a nuclear rocket engine that's very high efficiency, higher efficiency than chemical rocket engines. We've worked with the Air Force on nuclear electric propulsion and ultra high efficiency but low thrust space application, and we've worked directly with NASA on fission surface power. This is to put a nuclear reactor on the lunar surface. Now, those have been studies and designs. We haven't built any hardware for that, but we certainly have been preparing for that eventuality.
Let me ask you about the Golden Dome, this protective project of anti-missile defense system that President Trump has talked about doing, very similar to the Iron Dome in Israel. Any use for your technology in that?
There absolutely is. We've been working with the Department of Defense to build portable micro-reactors, which are very small reactors that can deliver a lot of power, actually, a few megawatts of power. The one that we're making for the Department of Defense, it's called Pele, and it fits into a standard shipping container and can be set up and run in 3 days. And so you get high-density power in the megawatt range. And so if you needed to set up something locally to power a radar or a missile system or even a small military base, then technologies like this perfectly apply. So I would see micro-reactors and small modular reactors supporting the power needs of the Golden Dome.
And maybe commercially, right? I mean, there's that potential. How much would a micro-reactor cost?
Well, we haven't got it priced out yet. I would say that, we've been doing this program that we've been doing for the Department of Defense was announced as a $300 million acquisition, but that includes all the non-recurring engineering. So we haven't priced out what the recurring cost would be, but, it's certainly in the range of less than $300 million.
I'll tell you, it's amazing. Growing up, nuclear was considered evil and dangerous and horrible. And there has been such a renaissance starting back during the Biden administration when the bipartisan vote came in to fast track these kinds of projects. It's got to be an exciting time for you. Rex, we'll follow this. Please come back.
Thank you. Super exciting time for nuclear. Thank you for having me, Liz.
Absolutely.